Well, welcome back one, welcome back all. It's Jackins and Walkline bringing you to the end of the knife round. It does seem like we have had the knife round. Who actually won the knife round though? Because I kind of caught the tail end
well,
of it.
It does look like VeryGames. They are calling for the stay here to eBot. So basically, VeryGames feel more comfortable doing CT side here on Dust 2 first. I mean, even though they're a strong team, I don't think they would want to pick the side they prefer the least. Going up against the, supposedly the second best team of their group. In fact, Kick has pretty much taken over that spot.
I was going to say, I think results at this point dictate that they're not the second best team.
Well, yeah.
They're probably the third, so.
Apparently, so yeah, alright. Let's just see if Anexis can, get their heads in the game. I mean, they can do so much more than what we've seen them do this far.
I think that's what it boils down to. It does boil down to getting their heads in the game. And speaking of Anexis, let's give you the quick Mad Catz roster rundown, of course. It's going to be Rattlesnake, MX, Weber, Mole, and Release. For VeryGames, we're going to have Existence, Smiths, Kenny S, MVK, and Scream. So your 5 standard there from VeryGames. I do believe we're still in we are still in warm-up mode here, so we haven't missed anything as of yet when it comes to the actual game. Obviously, VeryGames winning the side choice on the knife round, so they are going to elect to stick on that CT side. Now, what can we expect from VeryGames here, Walkline? They've been known on Dust 2 to be quite aggressive, but so have members of Anexis.
I think we're going to see a little bit of an both Team VeryGames and Anexis likes to play it out defensive most of the rounds, but I'm sure we will see offensive CT play coming out from both teams.
I mean, thinking back to sort of MR9, you know, on the CGS rules.
Yeah.
Like Salvo's big thing was that bunny hopping shot, getting up on a high and firing off that first AWP shot with Sam and getting that first opening pick. So, but like you say, I mean, that's well, you didn't say it, but I think you alluded to it. It's MR9. It's kind of different, isn't it? It's
a whole different gameplay, really. But yeah, we got the game started here. Jay, take it away.
Yep. So opening moves going down. It looks like we are going to be seeing a heavy long push here from Anexis. Let's get the auto direct doing the work for me as Rattlesnake and Weber pick up kills. It's like a good HE that came in. It did a little bit of damage there. Oh, Release with the Glock headshot though. 2 bullets delivered right to the cranium. We're going to see Mole and company slow it right down now. We've got that's going to be would have been Release in pit. He does get shut down by Scream. Kenny with the headshot as well. So VeryGames not down and out by any stretch of the imagination here. 3 on 2 though, with the bomb being pushed ever further forward towards that A site. That's going to be 2 final kills. Mole and Weber picking up the 2 frags onto Scream and Kenny S. So pistol round, T pistol round going the way of Anexis. So I don't read too much into that just yet. I mean, you would anticipate that on Dust 2, to be honest. Really now, you'd expect the next 2 rounds to go the way of Anexis. So we should see a 3-0 scoreline before we really get into the meat of the game here. Walkline, we haven't done predictions yet. How are you seeing this unfolding, buddy?
I'm going to say 16-14 for Anexis.
For Anexis?
Yeah, for Anexis.
Oh, okay, you're putting your balls on the chopping block there, my friend. Looks like I could be going 2-0 up on the prediction game here. I'm going to go 16-12 VeryGames.
All right.
I think Anexis are going to find some of that form that's eluded them so far, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
We'll have to see here as the eco unfolds. Scream down to 4 HP. Smith has already been taken out. Release is down to 5 HP, but as you can see, he's only got a pistol in hand.
Uzi play coming in. MX going to grab himself the headshot to Kenny. Ooh, good tag there from MBK. MX dropped to 21 HP off the Glock play. It's not going to stop him from grabbing his second Uzi kill though. We're going to see the bomb going down here. Looks like Existence is going to be shut down. It's just, just Scream with 4 HP to find here. Looks like probably MX is going to find him any second. Oh! Wow. Had the angle on him though. I know all too well where he is. Here we go. This should be a kill from Rattlesnake. And a second frag coming out. I'm not quite sure what Anexis are doing here, but
it's not a headshot coming out from Scream that kill. I was about to say he was literally on 99% headshot ratio. Not like last game, but throughout the tournament thus far.
Yeah, well, that is a freaky statistic as well. We was discussing this whilst we was on break. That has to mean that he's only aiming for the head. Like he's going basically, you know, either you kill me or I kill you. If I hit you, you're dead first though. That's basically his game plan. Whilst he's hitting the shots, you can't really complain about it. I mean, most players play more conservatively, and they tend to put 2 in the chest, 1 in the head to be sure of it. But if you do connect with that AK, 1 bullet, 1 kill.
Indeed, and as we can see, Anexis really just landing those shots onto VeryGames. As I say that, though, Kenny S gets a headshot onto MX.
Well, Release shutting down existence on the B push towards T spawn though. As we can see, Rattlesnake and Release now look like they're going to be working their way over towards A. Bomb is already over there. Release checking mid out. Bit of AK-47 spam. In fact, it's not spam actually. He was placing those shots. It wasn't just spray and pray. Speaking of placing shots, Rattlesnake looking for the headshot. Didn't find it though. Bomb going to go down regardless of the fact that there's still well, at least was still one member of VeryGames up on short. That's going to conclude the round. Thank you, Auto Director. Do you know what? Every time that I put my trust in Auto Director, it lets me down.
Yeah, and going into third person that last game as well.
Yeah, I had no idea why he would do that.
So basically, to all of you guys watching and spamming it on chat, Auto Director isn't perfect. It clearly missed the two last frags coming out of Release there. But anyway, let's not talk too much about it.
Is as well. The more I use Auto Director, the less the less skill I have at actually controlling the game.
Yeah.
So if it ever does sort of go like pear-shaped and just decide to pack in, pretty screwed to be honest. Anyway, we are seeing the rest of VeryGames now on the first gun round of the first half here. They're going to put down an aggressive B push. Weber going to pick up the headshot onto Kenny S. Can we see these M4s put to good use? It looks like we are going to see double kills from Scream. Release with the AK-47 reply existence and MBK picking up kills though. That's just going to leave Dan on his own here. So let's not put our trust in Auto Director for this. This is just one man standing. We'll drop our perspective onto Dan. That's one kill. HE finishes him off though, and the defuse is going to be an elementary one, so that's going to be the first gun round on the board. That's going to go the way of VeryGames. And now you'd anticipate another gun round here from Anexis, to be honest, but it's going to be somewhat of a light buy, I think. Let's have a look at the deaths. That will help me figure it out. Yeah, we've got quite a few deaths on the board here for Anexis, so it is going to be a light buy. I think you might even see a Galil in there. Would you agree with that, Walkman?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, they got the bomb planet as well, so I would think they got enough money to buy up with AKs and stuff. Hey, we got one Galil, but we also got an AWP on Rattlesnake, so I think they're comfortable with that buy. I also think that the Galil in Global Offensive is a lot better than the previous iterations. So. All right.
Really, the only advantage of having the Galil in 1.6 and in CS Source would have been it was 5 extra bullets to fail with. Not the case anymore. It is a pretty good weapon. So, as is the FAMAS as well. I'm a big fan of the FAMAS in Go. Was never that keen on it in Source. It was always pretty solid in 1.6 to be honest. But this is interesting. Here we go. Boosted peak. Nothing there for Rattlesnake to find though. So. They need to force the issue over towards A if Rattlesnake's going to get this pick onto mid. That's what it basically boils down to. Because I don't think you're going to see VeryGames just running that cross when they know that there's a very good chance that Rattlesnake is going to be open.
No, and as you can see, VeryGames are playing really defensively here against Anexis, probably respecting their opponents a little bit more here, even though they know that Anexis lost to kick.
What a flashbang. Now, there is an example of that VeryGames team play. Smiths capitalises on the flashbang, moves in, double frags with the M4. That's pretty much your round. And Rattlesnake is still alive here, but the way that Anexis have been playing, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for the save here. Yep, it looks like Rattlesnake's going to be falling back. He's not careful here. He's not going to escape with that weapon. I mean, he's got a potential push from mid. He does shut that down, though. Nicely done. AWP on AWP, kill into Kenny.
Looks as though they want to save the weapons on short there, which is kind of a little bit risky. Yeah, here we go. Rattlesnake does decide to fall back, but he is leaving Mole there by himself. No, in fact, he has jumped into Lower Dark and will be heading over towards T-spawn to save his AK. And I mean, it's still early in the game. They're up 3-2. There's no reason to risk losing an AWP here at this stage. Nearly losing it there, though.
I was going to say Rattlesnake. If he hadn't been plus back in that at the time, he would have been dropped. So that could have been a terrible situation for Anexis, losing the round. Well, I say losing the round, conceding the round pretty much, and then losing that AWP. But as it stands, looks like Sam did get out of there with that AWP. So now he knows Kenny. He's got an idea that Kenny's there, as you can see. Tagged him through the door, I think. Did that hit? No, must have gone between his legs.
Unlucky from Rattlesnake here.
Well, I was going to say it depends which way you look at it. I mean, for Kenny, very lucky.
Yeah, that's true.
Good flashbang out over onto long here. Looks like Rattlesnake going to be again flashing. HE does come in. Weber with the AK headshot. We are seeing a situation unfold here where this is probably the time for Anexis to actually capitalise and make an aggressive play, isn't it, Walkline?
It is. Let's see. We got 4 of their players pushing up here onto that A bomb side. They do trade kills there with VeryGames. Small picking up the kill here for Anexis. It's down to a 4v3 in Anexis advantage. It's 3v1 now. NBK, can you do something out of this?
It's going to have to be something special if he is going to do something now. He's trying to stop the plant. Doesn't stop the plant. Does get the kill though. There's a key kill as well. That's Rattlesnake now shut down. So a little bit of that range taken away. I was going to say wrong time to throw that HE though. To be honest, he did do some damage with it, but it did lead to his death. So 4-2 now the scoreline. VeryGames in a position here where I would anticipate another eco. Yep, we're seeing an eco here. So we should very well see. Let's see what Rattlesnake can actually do here. Let's see if he can pick one of the crosses.
In fact, he's,
like
not going for it.
Has he got an AK? Just looking third person. No? Yeah, he does have an AK, so not the money for the ARP. Sam can be just as scurry with an assault rifle as he can with a sniper rifle, though, so...
We saw that the last Us 2 game, to be honest, as well, Jay. And I want to point out that, once again, VeryGames opting to use a lot of money on those grenades for the ecos.
We are seeing Anexis starting to push short here. Rattlesnake going to be leading the way. Oh, again, that VeryGames flash almost scuppered that push. As you can see, Rattlesnake did manage to get the entry frag onto short, but shut down by Existence. I'm not quite sure what auto director's playing at here, but there we go. Finally got back on first person mode, and it's going to be the final kill coming in from release. Nothing spectacular in that round, to be honest. Was to be expected. VeryGames wasted a lot of money, as you pointed out, though, on grenades, and that's going to affect them late game, isn't it?
Yeah, and we were talking about it during Copenhagen Games as well. I mean, if you're going to utilize them in a certain set push on that eco side, then fine, buy some flashes, but they're not really using it that well. Nathan here opting to go for that stair org, and that's cool.
Why I went to third person.
That's kind of cool.
The second time we've seen that in such a competitive game, and I have to say I'm somewhat perplexed by it. Maybe they know something about the stair that I don't. It's obviously, you know, the only thing I know about it is it's a ball pop, and it's pretty much useless in every other iteration of Counter-Strike. But I've seen a few buys of it here. Let's get auto director back on, as it seems to have switched itself off yet again. Kenny and Smith with frags here. Kenny just spamming away at those doors, hoping for a lucky tag. Not going to be happening for him. There's nobody even within 7-foot radius of that door. Kenny with a nice pick towards back of sight, beautifully done. That could very well be the opening here that they needed. Saying that Anexis holding it down, making sure the retake is not successful. That's a good HE that will have done some damage to Smith, down to 19 HP, and there's the AK frag to finish it up. Jim going clutch when it's needed by his team. Does manage to salvage an AWP as well. That's going to be obviously handed off to Snake. And we do see a 6-2 score on here on the T side. VeryGames have got to do something. They've got to do something quickly, haven't they? Yeah,
and we were talking about as well, VeryGames like to play it offensively, but we haven't seen them utilizing any of their offensive strats here against Anexis.
No, not one short peak, not one B rush.
No, so basically I think that's what we're going to see soon, like the next round when they will be able to buy.
I was going to say, at what point does MBK just lose his temper and go as aggressive as we know he likes to do?
MX with 2 opening kills here. Nice play, even though it's versus an eco. MX.
Sick mode. Nicely done. Well, he's not going to get the better of Scream, though. Scream does manage to bag himself an AK-47. Probably thinking about just picking up an exit frag or 2 here and getting himself a little bit of cash. I don't think he's got any idea that he's going to be able to salvage that. Still plenty of time left on the clock. And there's the frag from Rattlesnake. So nothing really salvaged from that round there for VeryGames. They didn't buy any grenades like they did the rounds previous, the eco round previous, but still didn't really do much cash damage to the Anexis squad. So taking a look at your scoreboard, top scoring server is going to be Release. He's on 12 and 4 at this point. Second place is going to be MX, 11 and 6, and third place honour, that's going to go to Rattlesnake on 6 and 6. Smith's fully bought up with his AWP, watching mid, but it looks like the action is going to go down towards B here as Scream shuts down the entry. That's bomb down as well. Yeah, a couple of good tags for the smoke as well, so obviously utilising the radar. HE's not going to do any damage whatsoever from both sides.
Let's point out as well that their entry guy kind of lost a bomb onto that B bomb site. You never want to have the bomber
down
in front.
Yeah, at the entry to tunnels with an AWP from Kenny S now. Not just any AWP, Kenny S's AWP covering it. So I'd say the not quite sure what Scream was doing though. I guess he must have been blind. No, Jim cutting the rotation as well.
Wow.
Beautifully done. Now that is what I've been expecting from Anexis this whole time. You know, individual moments like that I guarantee that was called, you know, it was part of the strategy, but it's not like it's part of the set strat where, you know, we do this flashbang, we go mid. It will have just been that Jim found himself mid. He'll have called out to the rest of his team and they'll capitalise on it. Now Smith with the AWP kill. That's going to be MX shut down, so now that they've established that the final member is on A, they are going to go B. Smart play from Anexis. Going a long way though. It could allow, let's see what Smith is actually up to.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that.
I was going to say, it allows Smith to get in position here to actually potentially stop the cross. If he hadn't been moving and he would have been scoped in, he could have perhaps picked a tag up there, but unfortunately not so for Smith. Now the bomb does go down. It looks like he is going to contest this plant, which is, considering that VeryGames are 7-2 down.
They kind of need to.
I was going to say they have to, don't they?
Indeed they do. Smith is also quite a nice AWPer, even though he's not the main AWPer of the team. Trying to get into this bomb site here, but really well played there by Anexis. Does not want to give up a kill to make it a 1v1. And Anexis all of a sudden looks really dangerous. Wow.
Well, Smith's with the no-scope, but Mole on the retake shuts him down, and that's going to be the 8th round on the board here for the UK-based squad of Anexis. Of course, they are currently playing with a 5th in the form of Mole, who many did say would be the weak link, but as you can see from the scoreboard, even though he's bottom fragging, it's not like he's a weak link. I mean, he's on 6-2 at this point.
It's basically the same as Rattlesnake and Weber. Also, that last round, that was down to a 3v5 for Anexis missing 2 players there, and even losing the bomb down on B. So, by Anexis winning that round against VeryGames is really well played by Anexis.
Do you think this could be one of those cases of you know, styles make matchups? Because obviously we saw Anexis really struggle against kick and lose. I think a lot of that is down to the fact that, you know, they have sort of first game jitters, but not all of it can be put down to that. I mean, a lot of it's got to go down to Fox's performance as well, who 34 bombed in that game.
Indeed.
Now again, it looks like Auto Director is going to play funny buggers with me. Awesome. Finally got it back on. Now we are seeing the retake come in here. It looks like the aggressive Anexis push is going to get the bomb plant down though. Scream going to be the final man standing here for VeryGames. I was going to say he was in a good position there to bag a couple of kills, but Weber's having none of it, and he does pick up that AK-47 frag. So 9-2 now the scoreline. And at what point do VeryGames start getting nervous here? I mean, obviously they're going to go through in first place in this group, but
I think that they're already kind of nervous being 2-9 down, and we have yet to see them push up offensive against Anexis here. So a little bit, I can't really explain. I have no idea why they're opting to play it out defensively all the time. Smith here being tagged down to 25 HP, and they're doing. They've got 3 AWPs here on the VeryGames lineup now, and that might be their way of adapting to Anexis playstyle.
Well, I suppose if you're not going to go aggressive, the only other option is to go super defensive, and that's what the you know, the triple AWP means. It means that you're going to be seeing guys sat deep in sight, looking to stop entries on you know, the peak. So a bit interesting here. It seems like the players slowed right down to a crawl. Nobody really wanted to commit to that first move here. Now we are going to see Anexis start to prep mid. Flashbangs over the top. Now Kenny's already in position though with counter flash, so he's flashed out into mid. He's going to be looking to stop the B split. And it looks like Rattlesnake, he's actually peeked over towards A, so using the distraction on B to his advantage here. Good counter flashbangs coming in. That's going to stop Rattlesnake from actually peeking the angle and having the advantage here, at least for a time. And there's the kill, nicely done. So existence dropped. That is going to be a completely open business now for Anexis.
Oh, nice shot by Kenny.
MBK is going to peek here. He does get the frag. And the
wow.
second kill, nice. So MBK and Kenny holding down the A site there. I thought that was pretty much a full-blown conclusion that we were going to see a plant off that. Yeah,
not only that plant, but I mean, it was pretty much VeryGames doing the same to Anexis that Anexis did the previous round. It was a 3v5. Rattlesnake picking up 2 nice shots with the AWP, but a little bit of a risky plant there without any cover from long. So a little bit of a mistake really from Anexis, but still 9-3. It's looking good for Anexis here.
I did like MBK's patience in that situation as well. He waited for the plant to be almost complete before even peeking, so he did draw out the maximum amount of time that he could though before actually having his peak. Now it looks like we are seeing B overwhelmed here. Kenny's going to fall back a little bit. Smart play. Gets his grenades through the window. 4-on-2 in favour of VeryGames, of course. Rattlesnake and Mole, your final 2 members standing. Now, as you can see, Mole just holding his ground. He's going to be going for the plant here. Let's find out where Rattlesnake is. So Rattlesnake's actually covering window, so the 2 Anexis members set up here where they could actually do quite a bit of damage to this entry, but as you can see, exceptional flashbangs. Good smoke as well. Rattlesnake left in a very vulnerable position, 4-on-1. It's not going to happen for him. And it looks like Kenny is going to bag that defuse. So we're now going to go 10-3 here. And I have to say, 10 rounds on the board for Anexis. Oh. They've got to be fancying the chances of a victory here and finishing second in Group A.
4-9, you mean?
Sorry, oh, right, yeah.
But yeah, the Anexis have to be feeling quite comfortable with it. I mean, it's a little bit of a T-sided map, but I mean, as long as you can get every round you get after 8 rounds will be something you will be extremely happy about. Let's see, we got yet another buy here coming out of Anexis, getting that bomb planted. Surely helps out with the economy, and we got a fast push onto short here, Jay.
Yep, let's see what we got going on. It's going to be MBK and Existence here on the A site to actually hold it down. Whether they can get that done is a completely different fact, though. MBK is going to grab a HE kill. Weber going to be replying with the AK-47 shot, though, onto MBK. Existence and company here in a very vulnerable position. As you can see, no scope is going to find the frag, but eventually shut down by Rattlesnake, who I'm surprised hasn't grabbed that AWP yet. Probably because of the smoke cover, actually. It does make it somewhat less viable to use on the angle. Again, another good HE from Anexis. The HEs have been one of the deciding factors here that's been stopping these, well, I wouldn't say stopping, but stunting the retakes from VeryGames. Weber holding the angle. He knows when to peek against Scream. It's a good call. Kenny down to 2 HP. He's going to fall back here. Does he have an AWP on his back? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice.
Alright, so 10 rounds here for Anexis versus VeryGames, and who would have thought other than me?
Yeah, well, you know what? I could very well be eating humble pie here because I thought that prediction was crazy, but there is a chance it could come true here.
Certainly, I mean, for a team like Anexis right now who's playing with a step-in like Mole, it will be kind of easier for them to play out the CT side because it's not you're not relying too much on strategies and not too much on team play as you're doing on that T side. So I think Anexis is feeling really comfortable, even though they're heading towards that second half, which will be a little bit harder than what they've been through right now.
You know, it will be interesting seeing how Husey actually adjusts to this Anexis roster when he comes in full time. Because, I mean, like, Husey is one of the... Oh, that was bad. That was terrible smoke. Kenny cut himself off with that smoke and he's going to be shut down by Release. Now, as I was saying about Husey, Husey's one of the more dependable UK players. And I think he's going to be one of the players that's going to make a huge difference when it comes to, you know, Anexis' actual overall gameplay, because he's one of those players who will push them to put the practice in. So, well, whilst I'm rambling about Husey, we are seeing a 2-on-2 here with the bomb down on B. Existence and company on the retake. That's going to shut down Rattlesnake at the back of sight. And we're going to see the frag onto tunnels as well. That's going to be released, shut down, so the defuse coming in now. That's going to make it a 10-5 scoreline. And 10-5 from what could have been 12-3. It's not particularly all that bad for VeryGames. They can, with a T-side Pistols victory here, get back into contention, can't they?
Yeah. There's no problem at all for VeryGames to... I don't think they're really nervous now that they've secured 5 rounds, Jay. But in the end, it's still not the kind of scoreline you would want when you go into the second half here, because this is not Train, this is not Nuke, this is not the kind of map you would want to start off the second half down by 5 rounds.
No, indeed. I mean, it is one of those maps where, you know, it's not necessarily massively momentum-based, like, say Nuke is, where once that CT side gets 6 rounds on the board, yeah, you're pretty much just looking to pick up loose rounds here and there, and not kind of build any kind of control. It's not like that, but it is one of those maps where if you know, if the T's do manage to get, so let's say 4, 5, 6 rounds on the board early, you know, after pistols, then you can find yourself in a very vulnerable position where you know, don't have any room for mistake. So Anexis do put VeryGames in that position moving into the second half, but if any team can come back from that, you've got to say it's going to be the French squad, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, VeryGames, I don't think they feel nervous at all going into the second half. Also considering they've pretty much secured themselves through to the
yeah,
playoff.
I think at this point, a lot of what we're seeing at the moment is VeryGames sort of taking it easy and not wanting to show any strats as well, especially against the Nexus. I mean, Anexis is one of those teams that if they show Anexis something that they're capable of doing, or the standard setup that they will be using come the finals for the rushes that we haven't seen from VeryGames, that could actually, it could prove to be a huge bonus for Anexis to do that in the group stages.
Do you think Anexis will play as offensively as they did the last time they played Dust 2?
I think they're going to play it by ear. If they can play it defensively and frustrate VeryGames and make them make the mistakes, they will play it that way. But if we do see VeryGames, throw out a pistol round, pick up the pistols, and then the 2 eco bashes in the first gun round, I think the next buy is when you are going to see a Nexus go aggressive and push that, basically push short. That's what I'm expecting to see. I'm expecting to see a boost up onto short and then a very aggressive peak onto mid after that.
I think we're actually going to see the same 4th round from Anexis that we did the last game, where they push into double doors and boost Rattlesnake up to that.
That is also a possibility, yeah. If Rattlesnake can get that peak onto mid, but I can assure you this: VeryGames will have been stood over Anexis' shoulder when that game was going down, and they will know that's Rattlesnake's game plan. I think Rattlesnake's probably smart enough as well to realise that VeryGames will have been stood over him watching that. So
I think they were playing at the same time, though. That's the thing.
Wasn't the Anexis game running behind?
It might have been. But anyways, we're back into the game. Pistol round here coming out, and what an offensive push we got from Weber. Already up in middle, Anexis doesn't even know. Weber picks up 3 kills. Wow.
Mo also grabbing himself a headshot, so Anexis in the dominant position here. Just Scream left to find. Let's find out where Scream is. No, he is pushing over towards B. Still got it all to do now. He does grab himself that headshot, and he has swapped out the Glock as well, so obviously Scream going for the P250 here. Now he's got 3 members to find, but the combined health between all 3 is, you're talking less than 140, you're talking exactly 141 health between all 3, so it's not looking too good here for Scream, but he could potentially pull out a miracle clutch. Not going to happen. No, MX has the drop on him. And even though MX didn't have the best position there, I think he knew Scream was coming in that general direction, so he did have the advantage. So pistols over to. You wouldn't have thought this. I mean, VeryGames. How many times can you count that VeryGames have lost pistols on Dust 2?
And also, if we don't see a bomb getting planted, we're going to see a 13-5 lead for Nexus. Yeah. And I know for a fact that VeryGames will come back into the game and will kind of have like a little bit of a comeback situation going on. Even though Anexis is strong as CT, I mean VeryGames as T, that's scary, man. Yep,
it is. But then again, if Weber and MX show up, I mean Release is always constant. He's pretty standard, so you know what you're going to get from Release. But if Weber and MX bring their A games, still it might not be enough. We could very well see a Nexus take a victory here, which I wouldn't have thought was possible at the start of this game, to be honest.
Well, I kind of felt, because I mean I think the players in the Nexus will play a lot better when they know they're playing against. Wow.
Well, Rattlesnake with a hat-trick from ass kills. That first one was comical almost. The way that I think it was Scream on the entry who got shut down. That was pretty brutal, to be honest. So good eco bash. That's going to make it now a 12-5 scoreline. We are going to see yet another eco here from VeryGames, of course. On this T side, how important is it now for VeryGames to start doing some cash damage against these CTs of Anexis?
Well, obviously, every time you're able to do cash damage, it's going to be good. But I mean, yeah, it's closing into that 16th round for Anexis, really. So I think they need to start doing cash damage right away. MX though picks up the first kill.
Well, Scream and MBK going to grab frags. I don't know why Autodite keeps switching back to first person, but apparently, it does. That's a nice little bug. Now the bomb has gone down here, so we are in a 3-on-2 situation. But MBK only has 7 HP and a pistol, so this should be a good retake here for the Anexis guys. As you can see, Kenny not wanting to give it up though. Release is going to grab himself 1 kill. Weber going to grab the second one. Release with the hat trick. That's going to be the shutdown, and that's going to be the retake. So the defuse now going to come in. And that is going to make it a 13-5 scoreline here in favour of Anexis. And really now this is the point where VeryGames have to turn it around. This will be the first gun round of the second half. And if they don't find the opening frags here with the AK, I'm not entirely certain what the score is going to be now. We are going to jump on with Rattlesnake here because I mean, he could have potentially peeked mid. I can't see him wanting to against Kenny S, though.
Let's see if they put down the smoke. Yeah. Well, in fact, it does look like they want to do it. Yeah. Oh, but it's going aggressive. To be fail.
Well, that was incredibly gutsy, but also incredibly stupid, if you ask me. Kenny and Existence. That's not giving VeryGames the respect that is. Again, going back to first person.
That was my my.
Oh, was that you? So has it been you the whole time?
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. That one was me though. All right, but Scream is down to 11 HP, so it won't take much for Anexis here to equalize and put this back to a 3v3, really.
No, that's true, but I mean, a kill on Scream at this point, who's on 11 HP, isn't equal to that kill on Rattlesnake, which Anexis pretty much gave away by that overly aggressive push, if you ask me.
This is pretty much as close as it can get. Mole on 14 HP, Scream on 11, 3v3, and well, it's just a little bit of dancing now, isn't it, Jay? I mean, no one wants to commit to that first duel.
Well, so it's a lot of posturing for position, basically. I mean, we see now VeryGames actually making their way over towards B, so it does seem like they're going to focus on B. The bomb is there, but Anexis are playing this mega passively. Now there's the peak. That's going to be released, eventually shut down. Now MX is going to start to make his rotation with Mole here, so 2 on 2. I would say slight advantage to VeryGames here, considering the bomb's going to go down. You can see Kenny dug into the back of sight. Good flashbang over. That's going to slow down this retake here. It's going to split the retake, in fact. Obviously, MX would have liked to have been on site with Mole there, but because of that flashbang, he couldn't get through the window in time, so that made the fight basically a 2-on-1, and Mole couldn't win that from the angles that he had. Speaking of angles, Scream going to take the angle against MX, dropping from behind, and that's a pivotal round, isn't it? I mean, that's the round that's just kept VeryGames in this game.
It really is, and you can see how close it was as well. It was down to a 3v3, then a 2v2, and at the very end, when VeryGames picked up the round, the remaining two players down to 12 and 11 HP. So we've got a good game going on here. Hopefully, VeryGames will be able to climb their way back into this game. But for some reason, I just got this feeling that Anexis will be able to close this one out.
Well, they only got 3 rounds to take, but I mean that's 3 rounds against Europe's second best team. Granted, I don't think they're playing their their A game here. I think they're leaving that in reserve for the playoffs. But still, an impressive result so far for this relatively new lineup from the UK. Here we go, flashbangs and a push going down towards short. So MBK is going to be just holding long here. He knows that there's somebody there pushing him. Mole also coming up for the backup here. So MX does have a friendly to play with, but as we can see, it seems like MBK's been getting the better of that engagement. Switching back over towards B. We are seeing the entry onto B. It looks like released a beautiful pistol headshot. The bomb has gone down here, so obviously has been planted over towards A. 4 on 1, just released to find here. Let's take the guesswork away and remove auto director. Yeah, well, he's going to find himself 1 frag. He's going to exit with that AK though. That's a smart thing to do here. Is he? Is he?
He does not have the time to go pushing in here because he does not have a defuse kit. But what he's opting to do is instead of falling back and defending from T-spawn, he kind of wants to intercept the VeryGames player pushing after him, and that's what he's doing now, and he'll be able to pick up that AWP as well, which will be huge.
Oh!
And he actually gets taken out by the bomb there in the end. Bunny jumping into CT spawn right before it blew up, so that was a little bit of a weird decision from
well,
from
what he's trying to do is obviously he's trying to get clear of the I mean, if you get clear of the entries to spawn, then you don't die to the bomb. So mistimed his jump, I guess. I think he did clip the side of the box as well, which did slow him down a little bit, but still impressive picking up those 2 exit frags. But like you say, a big mistake losing that AWP at the end, because I think if you look at it from an economic point of view, you would much rather have the money of the the AK or the AWP as opposed to just 2 frags on the board.
Indeed, and the MBK equalizes here, gets the kill on Rattlesnake, down to a 4v4 here.
Yep, Rattlesnake and company now going to have to reassess the push that they've been making. They'll fall back to the standard CT positions. They were quite aggressive there, peeking mid. I'm not quite sure what he was hoping to achieve by that, but he's shut down by Scream, and we are going to see a plant on A here, so we should see another good round here for VeryGames, forcing, I'd imagine this would force an eco out of Anexis. Let's see where Release is. Well, Release going to be moving up towards short here. drop back towards spawn. Is he contemplating going for it here? It's a 2-on-1. I mean, he would have had time if he would have made the push about 5 seconds ago, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but it's running out of time, and he realizes it and falls back. Wise decision, and this time not bunny jumping into that bomb. Also a good decision. So, I mean, Anexis will be forced onto an eco now, but I'm a little bit curious to see how they implement the M4 in that eco round, because obviously you can have pretty much a meat shield of 4 players rushing up middle whilst Release try to pick them off and take his time to hit his shots. Basically, that's one. I think that's an eco coming out from the US, really, where if you save an AWP and you got 4 ecos on CT, you would basically have 4 maniacs rushing up mid and having that AWP just trying to get the kills.
I wouldn't just say that's US, you know. Like a lot of UK, I wouldn't say mid teams, but mid to high teams. If they do manage to salvage a weapon, especially on Dust 2, they will do that meat shield strat where it's like, okay, we've got an M4 here, let's all rush up a B, try and get as much damage done with the pistols, and then you follow up with the M4 and pick up as many frags as you can. So it's not exclusively a US strat, I will say that.
No, just the Origin.
Yeah, well, the Origin, yeah. I mean, the first team that I ever saw really implement that successfully would be Team 3D. So, who I've massively missed in the scene, to be honest. I mean, the North American scene, not what it once was, to be honest. And we did see some attendance at Copenhagen games, but not to the level that Complexity and 3D used to play at, to be honest. Good flashbang from short down to lower B. That's going to completely disorientate MX though. Allow Screen to grab the frag. Not before we see Weber return though. Bomb has gone down. Weber's going to pick himself up. Did he grab an AK though? Yeah.
So basically he's trying to get away, but he's flashed. So now running for the hills basically to T-spawn, and it's only down to 8 HP, and I'm not sure if VeryGames want to contest for that weapon. They're still building up their economy here, and I mean, it's not like they're in the lead or anything, so they might be better off just saving their weapons, considering how many weapons they've lost against Release. But in fact, it does look like we see VeryGames pushing that T-spawn to get that weapon out of the way.
Well, we're checking for it. There's the peak, and there's the kill, and it was after the round as well, so that's definitely not what Anexis were looking for from that save there. Well, scoreline at 13-9, so that differential on half has vastly been reduced now. 24th round out of a well, not regular play 30, so not too far from seeing perhaps the victors of Group A being crowned here in the form of VeryGames. Then again, Anexis are going to have something to say about that, but I think the way the momentum shifted here now, Walkline, I think you'd be hard pushed to say that Anexis are going to win this game now, wouldn't you?
Well, I still feel that Anexis will pick it up, but I know that Anexis is a pretty emotional team, so if they keep on losing rounds now, it will just be a matter of time.
See the dreaded Lang crumble at that point.
Yeah. Nice held here, though, by Anexis. Weber will be taken out by that grenade, though.
As we can see, there's now a 3-on-2 in favour of Anexis, but really, let's switch away from that, because again, it's put me into first person for apparently no reason. If I knew I was in first person, it wouldn't be an issue, because I just, you know, like I used to cast Source on 1.6, and I got pretty good with the camera, but yeah, you guys request auto out till you get it, as long as it, you know, stays on, that is.
Some reason it hops away here. Well, in fact, it knows more than us, seeing as the Go TV is a little bit delayed. Kenny S down to 17 HP. Scream on 79 though. They have the bomb, but they're up against 3 players from Anexis with full HP. And if they do decide to push long, Rattlesnake will pretty much have that on lockdown.
That was almost a double frag down with 1 bullet, but alas, it was not to be. We are seeing the push up onto A. The bomb is going to go down in the hands of Scream. 2-on-2. Health in the favour of Anexis, but I would say the bomb ticking kind of levels it out, to be honest. Oh, Mole with a beautiful M4 headshot. That's just going to leave Kenny S here with that AWP.
Oh, and he looks the wrong way. Oh, there we go. Luckily for him, it did not get picked up there. Will he be able to get the defuse in time now? It's 1 second remaining.
Yeah, there we go. So good defusal from Anexis. That's now going to bring them up to, well, basically 14 rounds, so only 2 rounds needed now. And at this point, I think VeryGames have got to do something. They've got to do something this round. They cannot afford to. As Walkline just pointed out, 28 frags on the board here for Release. He's the one who's carrying Anexis for sure. I mean, looking at the scoreboard, he most definitely is the difference maker in this game so far. So, Kenny spamming away with that AWP.
Oh, he knows
he's
about
looking for the boost.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to see it anytime soon, though. Like I said before, I can't imagine Anexis playing a boost like that against a team such as VeryGames. But then again, if you would have said first gun round, do you anticipate, Rattlesnake bum rushing mid and trying to box boost and look for an AWP kill? I wouldn't have said that either. So, FAMAS double coming in from Weber. He's going to cover that with flash retreat as well. So, this is looking like it's a good round here to pick up game point. Cash still an issue though for this Anexis squad, and if they do lose this round, they will be on eco.
Such a ballsy move by Kenny S, going out into middle when he knows there's a rifler there with that AWP and just picks him off. That's so well played. Oh,
getting Max here. Oh, he must have been spotting the radar or something. And BK getting the better of him, and we are going to see Scream with a headshot. So, VeryGames not down tonight by any stretch of imagination. Look at the Kenny with a beautiful no scope at some decent range there as well. I don't see VeryGames wanting to give up game point here, so we're going to see the plant, and I think Mole's probably going to... Is he going to save, or is he going to go for the retake? He's going to go for the retake. Cheeky bounce flash to get over the wall.
That was a nice flash. But wow, I'm guessing Rattlesnake is not happy about that round. Weber picked up 2 kills at the very start of it, and that should have been game point for Anexis. I don't know why they opted to play it so offensively onto the doors there. I mean... They could basically just fall back into defensive posture there and just wait for the T's to go in and actually get the bombs ticking away and just retake it 5 players. I don't know. In hindsight, everything seems smarter though. Rattlesnake picks up a kill in that eco. 2nd kill.
You see, I'm on auto director here and it's not showing me any one of those kills. If it does that again, I'm just going to give up an auto director and just start using the mouse, to be honest. As you can see, VeryGames moving over towards B with the bomb. They're going to have to contend for this site. As you can see, the rotation has come in from Mole. Still got Weber on site as well. I'm not sure if they don't know. If they don't know is that. They do find him eventually, though. It's going to be AK-47 headshot. It's going to leave Rattlesnake in a very vulnerable position at window here. That HE is going to finish him off. And that is now 11-4. So, still 2 rounds needed here for Nexus. And the momentum is firmly with VeryGames. We are going to see another eco by the looks of it, Warclown. At this point now, did Nexus start to get a little bit nervous?
Yeah, I think they've been quite nervous throughout the game, and I mean, I think that they lost so much by losing that 5v3 the other round.
Yep.
Not only the round point, but I mean that plays so much into the mind games of Counter-Strike. If you lose that round, how are you supposed to win a 5 versus 5 round? Yeah. So that's kind of a big factor to take in here.
Well, VeryGames all bought up with AK-47s. They're going to be going against a very, very eco Anexis here, not even a grenade. It does seem like Anexis putting all their eggs in one basket when it comes to securing game point with the next gun round. Bomb being passed up to short. We are going to see 2 kills. All of them, well, I was going to say all of them apart from Mole's VeryGames, so... It is now a 4-on-2 here. Site is completely open. Let's find out where the remaining members are. As you can see, we've got MBK making the rotation. And we've got Scream lower B. Now, Scream is going to be, yep, I was going to say he's in perfect position there to deal with Release, but MBK actually got to him way before that. And we are going to see the final kill come in from MBK with the pistol. That's going to make a 14-12 scoreline now. And what should have been a fairly quick victory here for Nexus, to be honest, once they picked up that 2nd gun round. It's turned into a very interesting game, basically off the back of that one terrible round.
It has. I mean, that should have been game point. That might as well force VeryGames onto a light buy as well for that deciding point. So all these small mistakes really don't seem that small when you put them into context.
Well, as you can see, standard opening from both teams here. Nothing. Well, I say standard. Look at Weber. That's kind of an interesting position for holding mid, but nothing too spectacular here. No pushes going down. No early peaks. No extravagant smokes. It seems like we're just setting up here and looking for picks on this VeryGames team. No, they've finally got to commit to this B move. Yep, double smoke and a flash going out. So good counter flash going in from the CTs. I guess that came from B there, as completely stops that mid push. So. perhaps VeryGames going to reassess what they're doing here. There's the frag from release. That's going to stop Existence from splitting B here with... Who's that in tunnels? Let's look at the overview. Would have been... I guess it's Scream probably. He was up tunnels then.
2v5. Anexis can't surely throw this round away. Mole makes it a 5v1 as well. It's all up to the 100% headshot guy, Scream. If someone's going to make it happen, it's going to be him. But no, in fact, Mole picks that kill up as well. Match point for Anexis. And VeryGames will be able to buy this round. And like, obviously, they would have bought anyways, but they got everything they need. So... what's your prediction now? If you could change your prediction now, I'm not saying you can, but if you could predict from this this point, what would you predict?
I'm going to go tied game.
Tied game, all right.
I'm going to go 15-50. I think VeryGames are going to put it back here. Saying that, Weber's not going to let them. That's 2 kills on the board in favour of Anexis, so it should be game point here for Anexis, to be honest. But HE would have connected. That would have gone a long way to securing the game point. Very slow start. Seems like the second that VeryGames hit that brick wall towards lower B in the form of Weber, they've just slow play right down here. Rattlesnake, he's caught in a pretty vulnerable position. He's been flashed here, but no push coming in to capitalise on that. And as you can see, Mole's now in position to stop the long A push as well. So VeryGames just looking to try and bring this back to, I wouldn't say level pegging, but to only one-man disadvantage. It's not happening for them at all.
Oh wow, some easy shots being missed there as well. Alright, so it's all down to Smith and Scream to get VeryGames back into this game to get into that tie score, but it's not really looking that way, man. Smith only down to 11 HP. Will he be able to do any damage? Highly doubt it, Jay.
As we can see, VeryGames have made a bit of a positional advantage here on the B site. They have managed to get in there. Smith is going to be going for the plant, but it's a case of too little too late here, as it is now a 4-on-2 with Smith only having 11 HP. Now Smith is going to be, I was going to say it was going to be shut down, but it was Scream who was actually killed before Smith, so that's going to be GG. And that means the Anexis do get a much needed victory here, which means more than likely they will now finish second in the group, which, to be honest, if you would have said that after that loss to Kick and the performance against Kick, I don't think I would believe you, to be honest.
No, well, couldn't really blame you, also considering they're playing the same map as they lost against Kick. But as you could see, I mean, Release was really not doing anything versus Kick. He was pretty much not putting up any kills. Weber did not top frag this game, but for me, he was kind of the MVP because he picked up a lot of the important frags and also the opening kills where he got 2 kills and they still lost the round. He was kind of the guy who made it into a winnable
he actually
round
fulfilled the role that Release normally fulfills, you know, that entry fragger basically. He was the guy who was making those entry kills and opening the sites up. So yeah, mad props to him for that. I think he'd have to pick up the MVP award for that. Anyway, what we're going to do is, I believe that was the final game of the day. So myself and Walker, we haven't actually eaten yet or anything, so we're going to go out and get something to eat. When we come back tomorrow, it will be Group B coverage. Do you know what the first game tomorrow is? It was up on Cadred. Let's have a look. If you head over to cadred.org, it will be over there, but bear me 2 seconds. I'm going to check my laptop real quick. I should have the list of fixtures somewhere. You know what? Rather than sort of funnel through it, what I will do is I will put up a little update in about 10 minutes when we come back. We'll let you know what you shall see tomorrow and the form of Group B. Some great games tomorrow as well. I mean, the teams that are in Group B, no slouches. There's no VeryGames in there, so obviously you're not going to see Europe's second best team. It's kind of a shame that the tournament is split when it comes to talent, because obviously we have Navi and everybody else at Starlight. I want to say, yeah, Starlight. So. Kind of a shame, but it is what it is. I think it's better for going in the long run because it keeps Nip away from some prize money.
Yeah, so I have to agree. I mean, even though we lose the 3 other insane teams that are over there at that tournament, we still get to see a tournament without.
Do you know what I'm surprised about? I'm surprised that one of those teams didn't come to Gadget Show, to be honest. I assume that they probably thought, well, VeryGames will pick up second, so whatever. We don't want to pay the extra transport and hotel. But I am surprised at least one of those teams didn't think, do you know what, Might as well make that trip over to Birmingham and see if we can take somebody from the UK guys. Regardless though, Group B tomorrow, and lots more coverage coming your way of the Catz CSGO Invitational. I've been Jay, he's been Warclown, and it's been our pleasure bringing the coverage. So once again tomorrow, I think first game will probably be 10 CET, which is 10 GMT I should say, 11 CET. Time zones are all fried. And it will be a stonking game of days, obviously. I mean, when we do get to the playoff stages, they should heat up a little bit. But to be honest, we've seen Anexis VeryGames today. That could very well be your final. So Group A's play has been nothing short of great. I mean, normally group stages you tend to see a lot of blowouts, don't you? Yeah.
And this is we've got an upset result as well with that Kick versus Anexis game. And I mean, Anexis winning that last game, which was quite surprising to, I'd say, 90% of you guys out there watching it as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a pleasant surprise, the way that Kick played against Anexis. I think, in retrospect, a lot of it was down to Fox. Fox did drop a 34 bomb, but I think more than Fox was the fact that just Anexis didn't seem to show up and play. Anyway, regardless, they did seem to show up and play against VeryGames. Granted, probably not VeryGames running their the bag of tricks that they have. But still, I mean, even 1 versus 1 aim, they seem to get the better of them. So, should make for an interesting playoff stage. Anyway, like I said, we're going to take not even a break now. We're going to finish up for the day. And when we come back tomorrow, we'll have coverage of the Group B games. So, I'd say don't go anywhere, but I don't want you sat in front of a dead stream for 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours, it'll be more like 15 hours now before the next games start. But to keep it locked. I'm sure there will be some VODs coming up of the event, even if it means myself editing it. Because I am that kind of guy who, I will go out of my way to edit it. Not tonight though, I will say that, because I'm going to indulge in a couple of beers tonight and go and see Berlin. You've not seen The Wall yet, have you?
Haven't seen The Wall.
Okay, well I'm going to take him to Checkpoint Charlie. He can see where the world almost annihilated itself, during the Cold War and such. And when we come back tomorrow, he should be a little bit more cultured, and I should have a bit stronger of a voice, because my voice is now starting to give way. So, perfect time to leave it there. Catch you later, and see you tomorrow. 1978.